I'm often asked what a board should do with strategic planning, but also if strategic planning is really as important as all the time it takes up and the emphasis that's put on it in higher ed. I think, given the place that higher education is in right now, strategic planning has never been more important. The ability of institutions to kind of assess their futures and then take a really good look at themselves and the environment and how they're doing education. It needs to be done in a systematic and kind of formalized way. Otherwise, it's scattershot and reactive, and that's not very productive. So, strategic planning is a process. I'm less concerned about plan itself, more concerned about strategic thinking and a process, an ongoing process of planning that really focuses the attention of the institution, the major constituents of the institution, and the board on the strategic future of the institution. Once an institution commits to a strategic planning process or a culture of strategic planning, there's a kind of collaboration in involvement, but the board has the responsibility to ensure that planning takes place. So it needs to show its interest in and its commitment to the planning process. It also, if need be, needs to commission or charge the president and the senior leadership team to take charge of that planning process on a periodic basis and move it forward. The the president is the chief planning officer. The board, though, needs to be in partnership with the president and to collaborate with the senior leadership team at a strategic level in moving that planning process forward. When I mention culture, it has to do with both the range of people that are involved and the ongoing nature of the process. So, first of all, the process should be continuous, and once you get a plan, you continue to review the plan and maybe even revise it. You don't want to be changing quickly as you're moving along, but as you assess the environment, as you assess your own strengths and weaknesses and the changing needs of higher education, you may have to make some adjustments in that plan. So having a culture embedded in the thinking of people from the board through the senior leadership team on through the faculty and all the key constituent groups, it's just critical. And they all need to play a role. People as a whole, the community, the campus community, needs to take ownership of the plan and of the planning process once it's in motion. I'd say most important things board can do is make sure that everybody on campus understands that this is a really important process and that the board thinks it's really important. So if the board can, through the president and through its own activities, and oftentimes that's how it organizes itself and how it treated the old plan, if the board really can bless the culture with a sense of significance to the strategic plan. That's really the most important thing they can do. But at the same time, if the board, without getting overly engaged or inappropriately engaged, if the board can ensure that mission and values are attended to, that they've got an effective process in place, that campus constituents are included in that process as is appropriate, and ultimately that the decision-making process here on a strategic plan as on decisions that happen on a regular basis is collaborative, that the right people are involved, and then ultimately that priorities and goals and objectives are met, that an implementation plan is in place and a strategic financial plan. If all of those things are there, um, I think the board will have fulfilled its responsibilities around strategic planning and will have ensured that the planning process at its institution is going to be successful.